Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kiro, Governor-General of New Zealand, and Dr. Richard Davis.
Roria ki tātua I runga rawa, mau ngā rongo ki te whenua, whakaro pai ki te tangata. Whakarongo ake au ki te manu nei te mā tui, tuia. Tuia I runga, tuia I raro, tuia I waho, tuia I roto. Tuia te muka tangata I takia mai I Hawaii ki nui, I Hawaii ki roa, te hono ki wairua ki te whai ao ki te ao maranga. Ki hei Mauri ora.
Please be seated. E ngā rauranga tirama, e kuima, e koroma. E huhu mai nei I tēnei ahiahi. Tēnei aku mihi mahana ki o koutou. Nau mai, hara mai, ki te whare nei, ki o te puti I tēnei rā. Kia ora mai tātou katoa. I specifically want to acknowledge the Honourable Penny Simmons, Minister of the Crown, and Acting Deputy Commissioner Tusha Penny for New Zealand Police. Mr Bobby Newsom, our kaumātua, and Mrs Rānui Ngārimu, our kuia. Tēnā koutou katoa. It is a privilege to come to Ōtepoti, Dunedin, and host this afternoon's special investiture ceremony for the recipients of the Bravery Awards. Today, we acknowledge 7 remarkable individuals who demonstrated great presence of mind and acts of extraordinary bravery and courage on the 10th of May 2021. They acted without hesitation to preserve the lives of others, while knowing that they were putting themselves in danger. In doing so, you have earned the utmost respect and admiration of your fellow citizens. The Crown has recognised those exceptional acts of bravery within the honours that I will present today. As each recipient is honoured, I invite you to join with me in acknowledging their courage. Ms. Catriona MacLeod will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of the New Zealand Bravery Star, Mr. George Fuanzalida of Dunedin for an act of outstanding bravery in a situation of danger. Mid-afternoon on the 10th of May 2021, a man with a short kitchen knife in each hand attacked a staff member at a supermarket in central Dunedin, causing multiple wounds as she tried to defend herself. Several shoppers and staff in the busy supermarket attempted to restrain the offender during his frenzied attack, which occurred in little over a minute, with 4 people in total sustaining stab wounds. Mr. George Fuenzalida, a corrections officer, was shopping with his wife, Ms. Vanessa Miller-Andrews, at the time of the incident. They heard a scream and went to investigate. They discovered the offender struggling with 2 staff members and moved to assist. One of the staff members was stabbed several times. During the struggle, Mr. Fuenzalida used both hands to try to get the offender to drop one of the knives, not realizing the offender had a knife in his other hand. Mr. Fuenzalida was stabbed with the other knife and thrown to the ground, breaking his wrist. Ms. Miller-Andrews tried to drag Mr. Fuenzalida away and was grabbed by the offender, who stabbed her twice. The offender then approached Mr. Fuenzalida on the floor and stabbed him, before returning to Ms. Miller-Andrews and stabbing her again. Mr. Fuenzalida, despite his injuries, crawled over to intervene, receiving a further stab wound. While the offender continued to attack Mr. Fuenzalida, 2 off-duty police officers and other members of the public intervened to restrain the offender. Mr. Fuenzalida had become entangled in the offender's legs during the struggle and was dragged away by one of the off-duty officers. Uniformed police then arrived to arrest the offender. Mr. Fuenzalida demonstrated outstanding bravery by intervening in the struggle and attempting to disarm the offender. Mr. Fuenzalida continued to try to prevent harm to others in the struggle after sustaining life-threatening injuries as a result of his actions. Mr. George Fuenzalida, please come forward. Mr. Dallas Wilson for an act of outstanding bravery in a situation of danger. Mr. Dallas Wilson was a supervisor at the supermarket working nearby at the time of the attack. Mr. Wilson was the first to intervene while the offender was attacking the staff member, running over to pull the offender away, holding him around the upper body from behind. As Mr. Wilson struggled to hold the offender, a further staff member and another member of the public attempted to assist. In the struggle, the offender broke free and stabbed Mr. Wilson several times. Mr. Wilson realized he could no longer restrain the offender and was losing strength. He staggered away from the struggle before collapsing from his wounds near the checkouts, where he was later given first aid. The offender was restrained by further shoppers until police arrived. Mr. Wilson demonstrated outstanding bravery by going to his colleague's aid and attempting to restrain the offender, receiving life-threatening injuries as a result of his actions. Mr. Dallas Wilson, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of the New Zealand Bravery Decoration, Ms. Vanessa Miller-Andrews of Dunedin for an act of exceptional bravery in a situation of danger. Ms. Vanessa Miller-Andrews was shopping with her husband, Mr. George Fuenzalida, at the time of the incident. They heard a scream and went to investigate. They discovered the offender struggling with 2 staff members and moved to assist. One of the staff members was stabbed several times. During the struggle, Mr. Fuenzalida tried to disarm the offender and was stabbed and thrown to the ground. Ms. Miller-Andrews tried to drag Mr. Fuenzalida away and was grabbed by the offender, who stabbed her twice. The offender then approached Mr. Fuenzalida on the floor and stabbed him again. Ms. Miller-Andrews attempted to cover Mr. Fuenzalida to protect him and received further stab wounds. Mr. Fuenzalida, despite his injuries, continued to intervene and was attacked again. While the offender attacked Mr. Fuenzalida, 2 off-duty police officers and other members of the public intervened to restrain the offender. Uniformed police then arrived to arrest the offender. Ms. Miller-Andrews acted without hesitation to intervene in the struggle when Mr. Fuenzalida was stabbed, demonstrating exceptional bravery in her attempts to prevent further harm and receiving life-threatening injuries as a result of her actions. Ms. Vanessa Miller-Andrews, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of the New Zealand Bravery Medal, Mr. Ron Andrew of Mosgiel for an act of bravery. The store manager, Mr. Ron Andrew, was working in an office upstairs at the time of the incident. He heard screaming and headed downstairs to the pharmacy aisle, where he was passed by a staff member who said he'd been stabbed. Mr. Andrew then saw other colleagues and members of the public struggling with the offender. Mr. Andrew called emergency services while attempts were made to restrain the offender. 2 off-duty police officers, assisted by others, had pinned the offender to the ground while he continued to struggle. Mr. Andrew held the offender's legs to stop him kicking out. While repositioning, Mr. Andrew was kicked in the knee, which knocked him over. He got back to his feet and noticed the offender had let go of one of the knives. Mr. Andrew kicked the knife away before picking it up and handing it to uniformed police when they arrived to arrest the offender. Mr. Andrew demonstrated bravery in joining the struggle with the offender without hesitation and helped prevent further harm by removing a knife from the situation after having been knocked over trying to restrain the offender. Mr. Ron Andrew, please come forward. Ms. Hope Clayton of Dunedin for an act of bravery. Ms. Hope Clayton was shopping with family when she heard screaming and went into the aisle. She saw the offender stabbing the wounded employee on the ground. Ms. Clayton approached the offender from behind and struck him twice, hard in the back of the head, with her mobile phone, hoping to distract him away from the staff member. She then backed away, realizing the danger the offender posed, and yelled, "Man with a knife," to alert others. At this time, other staff and members of the public had moved to assist. The offender was restrained until uniformed police arrived. Ms. Clayton acted without hesitation to attempt to distract the offender away from the wounded staff member, demonstrating bravery. Ms. Hope Clayton, please come forward. Mr. Ryan Ramsey of Dunedin for an act of bravery. A supermarket employee, Mr. Ryan Ramsey, was working at the time and heard screaming and someone yelling that a woman had been hurt. He made his way to the pharmacy aisle and witnessed a man being stabbed and the offender moving to stab another woman nearby shortly afterwards. The injured man asked Mr. Ramsey to check on his wife, the woman who had been stabbed. At this time, other staff and members of the public were trying to restrain the offender. An off-duty police officer and another staff member, Ms. Pam Thompson, threw themselves onto the offender to pin him to the ground. Mr. Ramsey assisted by attempting to disarm the offender. Mr. Ramsey noticed the offender had a knife in each hand, and despite being pinned on his side, the offender was thrashing and still able to move his hands. Mr. Ramsey was unable to remove the knives and was told by another shopper to assist with applying pressure to the injured victim's wounds. Mr. Ramsey took off his jersey and applied pressure to a man's wound until uniformed police arrived to arrest the restrained offender. Mr. Ramsey didn't hesitate to attempt to disarm the struggling offender, demonstrating bravery in trying to prevent further harm. Mr. Ryan Ramsey, please come forward. Detective Jeremy Toski for an act of bravery. Off-duty police officer, Detective Constable Jeremy Toski, was in the store at the time. He heard screaming from an aisle and ran towards it. Detective Constable Toski encountered the offender being restrained by a staff member and members of the public. As Detective Constable Toski approached, the offender broke free and stabbed a woman who was involved in the struggle. The offender then grabbed a man who intervened, stabbing him several times. Detective Constable Toski grabbed items from the shelves and began throwing them at the offender to distract him, continuing to do so as he approached. He then grabbed a plastic chair and hit the offender with it, telling him to drop the knife. At this time, another off-duty police officer, Constable Sophie Allison, was attempting to restrain the offender by pinning him to the ground with the chair, assisted by another woman. The man who had been stabbed was entangled in the offender's legs, and Detective Constable Toski dragged the man away to prevent further injury. As the offender was being restrained on the ground by Constable Allison and another woman, Detective Constable Toski pushed one of the plastic chair legs onto the offender's chest to attempt to get him to release the knife. The offender continued to struggle violently with knife in hand as those restraining him tried to disarm him, until eventually releasing it. Uniformed police then arrived to arrest the offender. Detective Constable Toski demonstrated bravery by entering the struggle with the offender without hesitation, helping to remove a wounded person and to restrain the offender to prevent further harm. Detective Constable Jeremy Toski, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories of extraordinary courage. None of us can be sure how we ourselves would respond in the situation that you encountered. This community is truly blessed to have people like yourselves who can step forward and intervene in an emergency. Your actions bring to mind the words of Nelson Mandela when he said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." The brave person is not someone who does not feel afraid, but someone who conquers that fear. On behalf of my fellow New Zealanders, I welcome this opportunity to salute your bravery, to express our sincerest gratitude and our respect, and to assure you that your efforts will not be forgotten. Please wear your insignia with pride, knowing that you inspire others by your example. Kia ora, e hui mai nei I tēnei rā. Now you will see on the back of your program the words to the national anthem in Te Reo and in English. I now invite you to stand with me and join in singing the anthem.
distinguished guests, this now concludes the formalities for this afternoon. High tea will be served soon.